barn buzzed with laughter and rattling metal. Yet in the darkest corner sat a battered German shepherd. His coat was tangled, his eyes dim, and a long scar cut across his muzzle. Above his cage hung a faded sign, Former Police K9. Opening bid, $10. No one stepped forward. No one even paused until a soft voice broke the noise. A tiny girl, barely 6 years old, walked ahead of her mother with a wrinkled $10 bill clenched in her small fist. "Lily, sweetheart." "Not that one," her mother murmured, nervous. "He could be dangerous." But Lily only shook her head. "He's not dangerous, Mama. He's just sad." The crowd snickered. The auctioneer smirked. Yet no one in that barn realized this simple moment. A child's compassion would shift the entire story. Before we jump in, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And tell me, where are you watching from? I love seeing how far our stories travel. The barn smelled of rusted metal, old straw, and promises that had long been broken. Far in the back, locked behind a cage weathered by years of neglect, the German shepherd waited in silence. His fur was caked with dried mud, marked with scars. His once alert eyes had grown weary. A crooked placard hung above him. "Abandoned police dog. Starting bid, $10. His name was Rex. He had once been celebrated. A loyal K9 who tracked criminals, sensed danger before it struck, and saved more than a few lives. But that was before the explosion. Before his handler took his last breath with Rex by his side. After that day, the dog had bounced from shelter to shelter, each one labeling him too aggressive, too traumatized, too old to be trained again. Surrounded now by shouting bidders and barking dogs, Rex kept his gaze fixed on the floor. Every loud sound made him flinch. The world that once honored him had forgotten he ever mattered. He didn't know it yet, but today everything would shift. Not by command or force, but from the tiniest, most unexpected kindness. The heavy doors of the barn groaned open, and a little girl entered holding her mother's hand. Lily, 6 years old, wearing a purple hoodie and a smile that didn't match the gloom around her, looked curiously at the rows of cages. Her gaze stopped when she noticed him, the silent dog hiding in the shadows. Unlike the others, Rex didn't bark or pace. He simply watched her, something soft flickering behind his tired eyes. "Mommy," Lily whispered, tugging her mother's sleeve. "Why is he all alone?" Her mother glanced at the sign, hesitant. "He's been through a lot, honey. It's not safe to go near him." But Lily reached into her pocket and pulled out her crumpled $10. The money she'd been saving for a toy. "He isn't bad," she murmured. "He's sad." Her mother sighed, torn between worry and admiration. Someone in the crowd laughed. Lily didn't even notice. She had already made her decision. She would save the dog no one else wanted. The energy in the barn shifted as the auctioneer climbed onto a crate and slapped his clipboard. Next up, our abandoned police K9. Opening bid, $10. The crowd mumbled and snickered. Behind the bars, Rex trembled lightly. Light glinted off the scars across his snout. Silent reminders of battles fought for people who had vanished from his life. The auctioneer called again. $10? Anyone? Nothing. Only boots shuffling through straw. "He ain't worth feeding," one man muttered. "Probably bite the first fool who touches him," another laughed. The auctioneer rolled his eyes and prepared to move on. Then a tiny voice rose above the noise. "I'll buy him." Every head swiveled. Lily stepped out of the crowd, gripping her $10 bill with both hands. "I'll buy him," she repeated more firmly. More laughter. "This isn't a pet shop, kid," a man joked. But Lily didn't flinch. Her eyes stayed locked on Rex. For the first time all day, his ears twitched and he lifted his head. The auctioneer hesitated, then shrugged. "Sold for $10. Disbelief rippled through the barn, but Lily's footsteps echoed with purpose as she approached the cage. And for the first time in months, Rex's tail gave the smallest, hopeful wag. The laughter around them faded when Lily approached. Rex let out a low, warning growl, rough, broken, defensive. People nearby recoiled. But the girl stayed still, tightening her grip on the bill that shook slightly in her hand. "It's okay," she breathed. "You don't have to be afraid anymore." His growl faltered. Pain-clouded eyes studied her carefully. "No fear. No pity. Just understanding." "Lily, please step back," her mother begged with a trembling voice, but Lily shook her head gently. "Mommy, see? He's not mean." She knelt so her eyes were level with his and slowly slipped her hand through the bars. The barn collectively gasped. For a moment, Rex didn't move. Then, with a trembling breath, he leaned forward and pressed his nose into her palm. Silence fell. Lily smiled, tears gathering in her eyes. "See? He just needed someone to love him." The auctioneer's grin faded. The men who had mocked the dog stared at the floor. And there, in that dusty old barn, a bond formed, wordless, fearless, and stronger than anything money could have bought. Days passed and Rex began to transform. At first he barely touched his food, still haunted by the past. But every day Lily sat beside him, reading stories, offering treats, and filling the quiet space with laughter. Soon he followed her everywhere, careful, devoted, protective. One bright afternoon, Lily chased her toy ball near the front gate. It bounced onto the road. She giggled and ran after it, not seeing the truck rushing around the bend. A split second later, a sharp bark cut through the air. Rex charged forward, knocking Lily out of danger just as the truck screeched past. Dust spiraled upward. Lily's mother screamed and ran to them. Rex trembled, chest heaving, standing guard over the little girl he'd chosen to protect. "You saved her," her mother whispered, tears streaming. News of the rescue spread quickly. The same townspeople who had mocked him now called Rex a hero again. But while the world buzzed with praise, Rex simply lay beside Lily that night, resting his head on her lap, finally at peace. The hero inside him had returned, not for duty, but for love. A neighbor had filmed the moment and posted it online. The video exploded across social media. Millions watched the little girl hugging the dog she'd bought for $10. Reporters named it the $10 miracle. Letters, gifts, and donations poured in from around the globe, all inspired by a child's simple kindness. At home, Lily sat drawing a picture of her and Rex beneath a bright blue sky. Her mother watched her, eyes glistening. "You used your savings to buy him," she said gently. Lily grinned. "I didn't spend it, Mommy. I gave it." That night Rex lay beside Lily's bed, his tail thumping softly in the darkness. Once he had been discarded, feared, forgotten. Now he belonged, family, guardian, friend. Proof that even the broken can heal with love. Later, her mother wrote online, "My daughter paid $10, but what she received was priceless." The post went viral, touching millions. As dawn light warmed the room, Lily wrapped her arms around Rex's neck. "You were never broken," she whispered sleepily. "You were just waiting for me." And with that, the old hero finally rested, not out of exhaustion, but out of peace, knowing he was home.